So today we're installing a progressive suspension 465 with wrap on a DL650 V-Strom. So first we're going to get the link out of the way. I'm going to drop this down. We have to unweight the rear end so we can pull the bolt out. This will also give you better access for the lower shock mount. So with the link lowered, now we have the lower shock mount exposed. We can go ahead and remove that, kind of broken it free already. All right. And then we can tackle the upper shock mount. I've already broken that one free as well. And then I wouldn't drop the shock just yet. Now we have to loosen up the remote preload adjuster. Okay, so we've loosened up the wrap adjuster. Now we gotta just get the top shock mount out of the way. And the OEM shock comes out with very little drama. It's pretty good practice to kind of look around the bike when you have a shock or anything that you normally don't take off to see if there's something that you can tighten up. So in this case, the mid pipe to the header, there's a clamp that we probably want to get to. It's normally covered with the shock end. This one was just a little bit loose. Okay, so now we're going to install the progressive shock. So you're going to want to reach down inside the swing arm, actually grab the wrap and guide it through. Just let that chill on the back side of the swing arm. And then bring it up to the top shock mount. So with the shock up into the frame, just slide your top shock mount back in. Wouldn't tighten anything up just yet. We want to put the lower shock mount in. And it's also very important that the rebound adjuster is facing to the rider's left-hand side. So next we want to tighten up the rear shock mount bolt only. So when you're reinstalling your shock, you also want to make sure that you're torquing all the bolts to its correct factory torque spec, so please consult your manual. Okay, so we're going to install the link bolt. And got to put the nut up on the top shock mount. And then we're going to walk to the other side and tighten up these nuts. So more often than not, you don't have a helper helping you. So we've got a wrench on the other side holding this bolt stationary so we can torque the nut. Okay, so last of the bolts, we have the top shock mount. Again, we've kind of positioned the wrench on the other side so no one has to hold it. So we can tighten down our nut. So with your shock installed now, the last thing we have to do is mount the preload adjuster. So here's the supplied bracket. All we're going to do is just install the mounting screws to the bracket, and then we'll mount the bracket to the frame. there you go. So now we're going to set the sag. So it's very important that we do this each and every time because with the amount of luggage or person's body weight, it's going to vary to a pretty large degree. So what we're going to do is we're going to measure the extended length first, so the wheel is off the ground. We're going to just pick a point and measure, obviously, from that same point each time. So now that we got the extended length, now we're going to get on the bike and measure the sag length. We see we got the bike on the ground now. We're going to take that same measurement. So now that we've taken our extended measurement and then we've taken our rider sag measurement, we subtract those two and that gives us our sag. We recommend that it be a third of the total travel. We know that this bike has 170 mil of rear travel. So we've set this bike to 58 millimeters of sag. The beauty about having this knob here is we can adjust how much spring force you have in your shock. So if you were to ride 2-up or load your bike up for a round the world trip, you can adjust your preload just by turning this knob. And again, if you were to take weight off or lose weight, congratulations, you need to decrease your spring force. And then that's just a great way of tuning your bike to you.